Whew, I just gotta thank God, because without His grace and His glory, I would not be here today to experience this. Hello everyone, my name is Shay. As you can tell by my cute and lovely introduction that I did all by myself, I'm so happy. This is my very first video, my very first vlog. I will be vlogging my experience in the dental hygiene program. For those of you who don't know, I applied to a dental hygiene program and I got in on first attempt. This is kind of my first vlog to kind of go over what happened. Today was our dental hygiene orientation. We are class of 2025. Today we basically went over everything that we need for the program for our first semester, tuition, uniforms, supplies, what to keep our supplies in, those kinds of things. We got to meet our mentors. We were each given mentors for the program, where they walked us around the clinic, gave us some very, very helpful information on what to expect and how to go about managing the program. Had lunch and we did like a little scavenger hunt. But today was pretty cool though. I like that I was able to meet a lot of different women from a lot of different areas, a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of similar backgrounds as far as experience and being a mom and stuff like that, because I'm also a mom of two. My oldest is a preteen and then I have a toddler. Preteen going on teen by the end of the year, and then a toddler. So yeah, I'm gonna vlog how I'm going to manage this program and manage being a mom, just getting out there doing it. Whoa, sun came out. It was supposed to be raining like today all day, and then out of nowhere the sun came out. I guess it said, no, we are not gonna rain on your parade, not today. I'm really excited. What are you doing? I'm driving and I don't have the phone like in my hand or anything like that. It's like attached to the doohickey thing is that it attaches to in the car. I can't think of it right now, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm like watching the road and stuff like that. I don't really have my eyes on the screen, so I apologize for that, but safety is first. So you're gonna hear me more than you're gonna see me engaging my eyes to you. There's a couple of more things that I have to do before classes start soon. I got fitted today for my scrubs. There's a list of things that you must have for the program. It's up to you if you decide you want to get it from the uniform store that the whole package comes with. But if you can save money somewhere, go ahead and try to do it. I'd advise you to go to the store so that way you can see exactly what it is that you need. That way you don't get the wrong items. Because there's some things that you need that there's other options that's not acceptable for the program. Like, you have to wear black shoes, but they have to be, leather, no holes in them, no tennis shoes or anything like that. So it's cute as it may seem to be wearing different kinds of tennis shoes and stuff like that as a dental hygienist while you're in school. Those are not the shoes that you can wear, unfortunately. What else? sure that I'm a good candidate for dental school. And one woman recommended that I do the master's program because I was completing my bachelor's as a pre-med, major in focus in pre-med, and I was like, okay, a turn of events, and I decided to do dental hygiene, just because I don't want to say I don't want to take too much time in school, but I wanted to seek other routes without having to, even though, it's good to have as many degrees under your belt as you want, I just kind of wanted to see what were my other options. And dental hygiene was another option for me because it brings me closer to being that provider. As a dental hygienist, you are a provider. You're a provider of preventative care, but I also want to move towards restorative care. So I decided to seek dental hygiene. I'm about one semester away from finishing my bachelor's. I was one semester finishing my bachelor's when I decided to apply to the dental hygiene program. So once I found out I got into the dental hygiene program, I decided I'm going to complete this. And then once I'm finished, I will apply to dental school and go from there. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. We will see. I just know that I'm going to complete the dental hygiene program for now. One thing that I do know that I must make sure that I do is stay on top of scheduling. Like, I've been good at staying on top of schedules. I'm taking a class right now. I'm taking microbiology, and I have been on top of my assignments, on top of everything that I need to do to make sure that my grade for this class is what I need to maintain in the program. Because in order for you to stay in the program, you must have B's or better. You won't be able to, at least the school that I'm at. I'm not sure of any other states, but the school that I'm at, you must maintain a B, which is fine as long as, I stay focused on making sure that I study the material the best way that I know how to study. Because what I've learned over the years is that I study and I learn a certain way, and it took me a very long time to understand what way that is. And it's okay. It happens. It takes a while. You think that you need to do things a certain way because everybody else is doing it, and that's not the case. You need to do what works for you. And the way I study and the way I pick up on information is what works for me. And I honestly didn't know that until I started taking higher biology classes. A lot of things that have to do with a lot of the anatomy and physiology and anything that has to do with inside of the body and things like that. I really had to pick up on what helps me learn better. And once I was able to do that, I applied that to all of the classes that I've taken so far. And I've been doing wonderful. A lot better than what I was doing before. Because, C's get degrees and I was passing them, but they were not good enough for dental school. So, I would get C's, I would get some B's, I would get some A's, but it was not suitable enough for dental school. And, I know I could have just applied to C, but I was not ready to take what is called the DAT exam. That's for dental school. I wasn't ready to take that yet. So I was like, let me just do dental hygiene. So what I did was I took my TEAS test, I took my classes, and I applied. And now I'm here. So, my brain just went boop. No, so right now I'm just driving home, and then I'm gonna show you guys what my scrubs look like, how they fit and stuff like that. Do a little dental hygiene scrub haul, and then go from there. And called Rate My Professor, where you go on Rate My Professor, and sometimes the ratings for these same professors can be not aligned with what I'm saying, and it happens. It's everybody's experience is different, but I'm telling you, if you follow everything that they tell you to the T, and you reach out and speak to your professor, I cannot say this enough. Speak to your professor. Let your professor know what's going on from day one. Speak to your professor, because your professor will work with you. You have some professors that's like, well, you're in college, you should know, you're an adult, blah, blah, blah. But you have some professors that know we're human, this is life. We're here to get our education. We're here to further our education. We're here to further our skills in whatever field that we're trying to get in. So in order for me to do that, you wash my back, I wash your back. You know what I mean? So, not no like quid pro quo thing or anything like that. But like, if you let me know what it is that I need to do and answer my questions or what I need assistance with, then I will be able to produce better. You know what I'm saying? And if you're the kind of person that asks a lot of questions, don't be scared to ask a lot of questions. Don't be scared to send emails. I email my professors 90,000 times a day. Doesn't matter the time of the day it is. I send an email at 12 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they email back by the next morning. Sometimes they email back right after I send the email. Everybody's human. You getting something done. You want to get it done. You just got to question it. It happens. And I over-exaggerated at 12 o'clock in the morning. It'll probably be like 8, 9 o'clock. But you know what I mean.
Jefferson Davis Highway.
But order their office hours. Contact them. See what they can help you with. Because science is not easy. It may be easy for some people, but it ain't easy for me. It's not. I really had to really understand how I learn. You think you go to school, you go to grade school, you go to high school and stuff like that, you think you understand how you learn. No, you will not understand how you learn until you sitting in that college classroom, you got an assignment due, and there's nobody hounding you down your back. You understand how you learn when you got to read 3 chapters and you have a test on it within the next week. And these chapters is not short either. You figure out how you learn. And the best way for you to do that is for you to speak to your professor. I'm not the kind of person that can sit there and just read 3 chapters and then boom. No, I need to read whatever's in bold, whatever's highlighted, the definitions, things like that. Take the words that I'm having a difficulty with, and then take those definitions and replace those words with those definitions in order for me to be able to understand. So, and I need a whole lot of colors. If I can draw something, I'm going to draw it. If I can make it into a rhyme or acronym or something like that, I'm going to acronym it. It's, you pick up on what helps you, and that will guide you through anything that you want to do in life. Anything. Because truthfully, I don't think I would have gotten into this program if I didn't really buckle down and really reach out to my professors and speak to them and really get an understanding in what it is that I needed to do and get A's in both their classes. I got a B in anatomy and physiology, but in the beginning of anatomy and physiology, I wasn't doing so well. And towards the end, my grade boosted highly to where I was 84, I believe, which was my B. So I think it was 84, or maybe it was like 80. I was exactly 80, exactly, like on the dot 80. So, and my professor, she saw that I really pushed through to get to talk about some of the things you need to get into the program. There's a list. Every state has a list of courses you have to take. Those courses mainly are science-based courses. They're basically science-based courses. Then you have, maybe psychology or sociology, English, math, chemistry, things like that. But every state has a list of classes that you have to take before you can apply to the program. Now, granted, there are situations where you can apply to the program and not have taken all of those classes. However, each state only accepts a certain amount of students. So that makes the program really competitive. So you want to make sure that if you can, have all of those classes done. Have all of those classes done so that way you can be more competitive than those that are applying. Because my program only accepted 34 students. They sent an email to about 100 people that, they passed the first stage of being accepted into the program. Only about 50 or 60 people showed up to the orientation. The first orientation that we had to attend, to show that, hey, we're interested, we want to be in the program, we're here. That adds points to your acceptance. So these programs are very competitive in some states. Those states that only accept 12, 13, it's the competitiveness is even higher. So you want to make sure that you're on that high list. So once you get those list of classes that you have to take, and yes, you can apply to dental school right out of high school, because we have a few girls that are right out of high school that's in the program. So, it's doable. I'm not sure how you can get into the program right out of high school, but if that's something that you want to do, you definitely can talk to your local college or talk to the college that you want to attend and ask them, how can you get into the dental hygiene program right after high school? Like, what classes do you need to take, or what classes should you have? Because some programs, they want you to have high school level, I think, science, math, and English. Those are 3 prerequisites. I'm not sure, don't quote me. I think that's what majority of states, their first requirements are. And then to add points are the extra college courses, extra college level sciences, and other basic classes that are college level that adds points to your chances of getting into the program. So once you take those classes, then you take what is called the TEAS test. The TEAS test is basically the test similar to the test that the nurses have to take to get into the nursing program. This is a test that is anatomy and physiology, English, math, reading. So it's best for you to have these courses, just because when you take the TEAS test, this information is on the TEAS test. So it's best for you to do it, just so you can have that, right? What I used to study is I used Matrix, and I'm gonna link it somewhere in the video. But I bought the book on Amazon, and I used the book to study. Before I took the TEAS test. So I started my school that I attend the program at. I started last year, August. I applied to the program in December, and we are in June right now. So I applied in December. I had took the last prerequisites that I needed. I took anatomy and physiology. I took psychology, and I took a few organic chemistry. No, I'm sorry, not organic chemistry. Biochemistry, lecture, and lab. Those are the classes that I took that I had left to get into the program. I had one class left, which was microbiology, that I took in the spring. However, I did not pass that class. I got a C, which I'm retaking it now, which my average right now is an A, by the grace of God. I'm taking the professor that I mentioned earlier for this class. So sometimes, in certain classes, it doesn't just depend on you. It depends on the professor. So if this is the school you want to go to, I recommend those professors. Now, do not hold me accountable for any grades you receive in those classes. If you take those classes with those professors, you don't get what you want. Again, it's all about how you learn things, but I feel like their methods that they use was a lot better for me than some of the methods that I've seen used with other professors. A lot of professors have their way of teaching, and sometimes a way that a professor teaches is just not a way for you, and it happens. It's normal. But anyway, yeah. So you take the TEAS test, and then you apply to the program, and then you get into the program. You're going to affirm it. You're going to say, I'm going to take this test, I'm going to pass this test, and I am going to get into the program. That's exactly what I did. Believe it or not, I left from the state I was living in, and I said, I'm going to apply to this program, and I'm going to get in. I was telling everybody, oh yeah, I start the program such and such date. And I had no idea whether I was getting in the program or not. Like, I really threw all my eggs in the basket and said, here you go, do as you will. I really did that. I did that. Yeah. Now, don't do like me. Move away, and you end up not getting in the program. Don't do as I say, not as I do. Or don't, one or the other, however you say it. Do as I say, not as I do. There we go. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't be like me. But do make sure that you stay on top of everything that you need for the program. So, along with those list of classes that you need, there's also some points you're going to get. Every state has a list of points that you can achieve by completing the requirements on that sheet. So you can get points for recommendations. The amount of recommendations you can receive points for, I'm not sure. Some schools require just one, some schools requires 2. If you decide you want to get 8 letters of recommendation, I doubt you're going to get points for having 8 letters of recommendation. Like, they're very strict on, I asked for 2, so I'm only going to take 2. Doesn't matter how many extra you got. That's not going to get you extra points, because that would not be fair to other students just because you have extra letters of recommendation. Because if that was the case, then everyone would bring 8 letters of recommendation. Because what happens is it's a competitive program, so everything has to be according to the T. If I need 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, I only want to see 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. I don't want to see 5, 2, 9, 12, because then that wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be competitive. Everybody should be given on the same level of everything that they need done in order to be able to get into the program. Cool? Cool. So, once you have your letters of recommendation, you have volunteer hours, extracurricular activities, shadowing. Those are the kinds of things you can gain points for. I'm not sure if every state has the same point system. Again, you can reach out to your state's hygiene program to find out what are the requirements, to gain points and stuff like that. These are just some of the points that we got. So once you get called, so each school, I'm pretty sure they would have an orientation. How the orientation goes, I don't know. I'm just going to speak on my school's orientation. So the first orientation I went to, that's where we got like an extra 5 points just for showing up at the orientation, right? So we got 5 points for that. then we got extra points for making a certain amount on the TEAS test. So I believe the minimum you can make on the TEAS test is a 58. And you get extra points if you make over a 75 on the TEAS test. And I believe you get more points if you make over, I think, an 80 on the TEAS test. So that's that. And then you get points for, I think I mentioned already, the volunteer hours, the shadowing. You get points for having dental experience. Like I mentioned before, I'm a dental assistant. So you don't get points for being a certified dental assistant or having any kind of certification as a dental assistant, or even radiology certification. You don't get no points, at least in my state that I'm doing a program in. You don't get extra points for those things. It's good to have, just because you're familiar with dental terminology and the teeth and things like that. But in my state, it doesn't get you any extra points. It gets you points in the classroom because you know some stuff, but it doesn't get you points to get into the program. So I know a lot of people feel like, well, I'm going to do the dental assisting program. That will get me into the dental hygiene program.
That will not get you into the dental hygiene program. That will not get you into the dental hygiene program.
It'll add to your experience, but it will not get you into the dental hygiene program. You know, it'll probably grow your love for the dental
field, but it will not get you into the dental hygiene program. Field, but it will not get you into the dental hygiene program.
So, there's that. Once you know how many points you have as far as your classes, because at your first orientation they let us know, they gave us our printout sheet called a HARP. It's health assessment report. I think it's health assessment report. I know it's a HARP. I know it's health assessment. I just forget what the other last two words is. Is it report? Paper? I don't. Don't get me to lying. I'll put it somewhere in here exactly what it's called. But at the first orientation, they gave us a printout of that, and that let us know how many points we have. So depending on the grades you have in your classes, that also determines your points. So remember those prerequisites that I was telling you guys about? That's the college level classes. You get points for those. So the higher your grade, the more the points. So let's say you got a B. A B gives you times, I think, 3 points per letter grade. So if it's a B, that's 3 points times every credit hour. So if it's a B and the class you took is 3 credits, so it's 3 times 3, so you have 9 points. If the class you took was 5 credits, like the class that I took, like my A&P class, my anatomy and physiology class, was 5 credits. And I got a B in that class. So that was 5 times 3. My psychology class was 4 credits and I got an A, so that was 4 times 4. You know, it goes like that. So for every for A's you get times 4, for B's you get times 3, C's you don't get any. I think you get like 2, but you can't have any C's in any science courses. I think it's okay to have a science course in like psychology or sociology, but your anatomy and physiology, your microbiology, your biochemistry. Your biochemistry classes can only be A's and B's. Your science courses can only be A's and B's. Okay, I'm going to repeat that.
In order for you to get in the program, your science courses have to be A's and B's.
Now, can you get in the program with a C in your science class? Yes, you can. Because, let me tell you what happened to me. I was taking microbiology in the spring, and I had received notification that I got into the program. I believe the beginning of May, like the first week of May, I got the email that I got into the program. I ended up getting a C in the class, but I was already in the program. So what I had to do was retake it in the summer, which I'm doing now. So as long as I keep a B, an A or a B, I can stay in the program. And right now, I've already passed midterms, and my average for the class is an A. So I'm good to go. I'm floating on air right now. My focus right now is finishing these labs and getting ready to start this program. And I'm kind of glad this is just this one class that I need to focus on and stuff like that. But anyway, so once you find out what your points are once we found out what our points were after our first orientation, then it was a waiting game. It was pretty much a waiting game. And once we got the email about getting into the program, then we got a whole bunch of other emails about what the next steps are. So every state have different regulations as far as what dental hygienists as far as what dental hygienists can do and cannot do. At one point in time, in the state that I'm in, you could not administer anesthesia, but now my state can administer anesthesia. So I'm very happy about that, because I didn't know that. Every state had different regulations as far as administering anesthesia. I thought if you're a dental hygienist, you administer anesthesia, because in New York, dental hygienists administer anesthesia. So, I didn't know that. But again, learning process. We all still learning. Doesn't matter our ages, we're all still learning. So my class and the other class that's graduating this year, 2024, will be the first two classes to have licenses to administer anesthesia. So where was I? Once we did our first orientation and we found out what our points were, it was a waiting game where we waited until we got notification about the other email. Now, I don't know how every other school does it, but once we got notification about our points for the classes, we wasn't notified about any other points. So even though you get the list of what you should have, you won't know if you got the points for that or not. Like, at least I didn't know. I know a lot of girls in my class didn't know, so I don't think they tell you how much points you have, right? You just know how many points you have as far as your classes. Everything else, as long as you get your paperwork in, however many points you generate or whatever they accept as something to be able to give you points for, that's at their discretion. Sorry, you hear that little rev real quick, because I don't think somebody's paying attention on the road where they're supposed to be at. So I'm just like, let me move from you because you're not paying attention. And people don't be using like turn signals out here when they be crossing lanes and stuff. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's a no for me. But anyway,
there's a slowdown ahead.
Okay, I see you. But once you get your points for your classes, this is why I stress that even if this is why I stress that you have your classes that you need to take, your prerequisites, you have them done before you apply to the program. But you also get points for if you have like 1 or 2 classes left. That shows up, at least for our program, you'll get points for that. Like you'll get points, I think it says like if you're registered for microbiology or biochemistry in the spring, not the fall, in the spring semester, you have to be registered for it, because that's their policies, right? So you get points for that. So we're gonna get into what these uniforms look like and how they fit in, and we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with this hair, because I locked my hair 10 months ago, and it's okay, it's cute, I like it and stuff like that, but me, I'm always wanting to cut my hair. Every chance I get, I'm like, I want to cut it. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm going to continue this lock journey, or if I'm going to comb them out like my sister is doing for hers, or if I'm just going to cut it off and do a little pixie. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I'll be back. I'll be with you shortly. We're going to see what these uniforms look like. Okay.